Newcastle for the 2015 Morrisons Great North Run. It's the 35th running of the world's most famous half marathon. The race having seen its millionth finisher cross the line last year. Weir is back to defend his title, fresh from regaining his 5 and 10,000 metre titles at the World Championships in Beijing. I'm joined in the commentary box by Tim Hutching.
Well, away they go. Fast and furious too, this first couple of miles down towards the Tyne Bridge. The Tyne Bridge itself is actually about 1.6 miles, something like that, but it's downhill all the way, and of course these athletes will pick up enormous speed, a real rate of knots as they head through this first mile and a half.
You can see the competitiveness right from the start as Josh Cassidy really powering on in the front. Away and well, along with David Weir, you can see them side by side there, right at the head of that group, followed by Simon Lawson, of course. But you can tell the difference in the capabilities of these wheelchair athletes, because all of a sudden they're well spread out. We'll have a little look at the course map before the wheelchairs get underway, but it starts just beyond Grandstand Road, and you can see the high and low points there. They come up to the Tyne Bridge just before 2 miles. They'll head down towards the highest point at 5 miles, past that Gateshead Stadium, of course. In the early days, we had some big athletics meetings there. That's the high point at 5 miles, then down South Tyneside between 6 and 7, and the lowest part of the course just beyond 8 miles. And as they head past White Lees between 9 and 10, and then Centenary Avenue past that between 11 and 12, and then they turn left. And it's quite a strong wind, but we understand it's behind them as they go down towards the finish in South Shields. And of course, the next race off will be the women's elite race.
Jelena Prokopchuka, well, she's been around a long time, the 36-year-old. Great 10,000 metre runner. She was 7th Olympics back in 2004, but she's also a great marathon runner. 2:22 speed she has from 10 years back. There is Gemma. She's become a truly world-class force in the last couple of years. The European cross-country champion from December last year. A 31.5-minute 10,000 metre runner. Looking to build towards a marathon debut is Gemma Steele. Didn't weigh that just yet, but last year 68.13 for second place behind Keitany. And there is Mary Keitany, Mary Keitany. She's a mother. She's 33 years old. She's running as well as ever. She recently ran 66 minutes 38 seconds in Olomouc in the Czech Republic. Keitany. Keitany, ironically, virtually the slightest in build. One of the very smallest there. Adriana Nelson to the left of picture in the all-pink strip. Former Romanian now. She was Adriana Patea. And she, the athlete I was mentioning earlier, who was winning the Chicago Marathon back in 2006, I think it was, and was coming towards the line and celebrating, high-fiving with the crowds, and about 50 yards from the line, Adere of Ethiopia passed her, but about 30 meters to her right. She didn't even know she was there. Adere was almost like in a different race and was breezing past with a big sprint over on the far side. Well, Patea was celebrating perhaps prematurely what she thought was a victory.
Well, the wheelchairs, that looks like David Weir, doesn't it? And way out in front and looking behind, having a really good look behind, and he's opened up a big gap. Remember his course record at 41.34 was way back in 2009. Well, that is an incredible lead he's got. I mean, that's an extraordinary situation.
Well, I think Weir has just kicked in very hard. Cassidy was pushing very hard over the first couple of minutes, but Weir has crossed the Tyne Bridge now. He's turned left, passing the Gateshead Stadium. He's approaching 3 miles and absolutely tearing up the road. Keitany is likewise pushing very hard. In the space of probably 90 seconds, she's built up 25 meters lead.
She's clearly looking at some record performance here. She's looks very keen to go so early and to break away from this. Remember, the world's fastest time all time is 65.09. That was Florence Kiplagat at this year. She's already broken that this year. So I just wonder whether Keitany, who is second at 65.39 last year on this course, I just wondered. But the chasing pack, well, that they will be helping each other, but they know that the quality of the athlete in front, and they know that she will be running somewhere around 66, probably a little bit under 66 at the rate she's going at the moment, and they will know that they're on 70-minute schedule normally, or there or thereabouts. But Gemma Steele's best, 68.13, which she set last year. That was the first time she'd broken the 70-minute barrier, incidentally. So she really was making some headway. But at the moment, the rest sitting there, and their performances are right. Let me look. One, Keitany on 65.39. Then the others are all. Iwadi is at sub 70 at 69.45. Gemma, as I said, 68.13. The rest around about 70 or just beyond. So it really is it promises to be a good competitive race, certainly by the group in second place. And I just wonder, as they go over the time bridge, that is a terrific break by Keitany. She really is meaning business. Well, we're down to the elite men, and the introductions will begin very shortly. First of all is Stephen McCoker, our previous winner of the Great South Run. It was over 10 miles, of course, the 2014 Great Scottish Run winner, and World University 10,000 metre champion of South Africa. And this is Stephen Sambu, Manchester Run winner this year from Kenya. Much more about him once we get the race underway. And we've seen Sarah Hall. Well, here is her husband, Ryan, and he's twice an Olympian for the United States, the US marathon record holder. But now the fastest man in the world this year, and a man who will surely give some real competition to Mo Farah, Stanley Biwott, London Marathon second last year, fastest man in the half marathon this year with a best of 59.20. Now, this man needs little or no introduction now, absolutely supreme on the track over 5 and 10,000, and of course faltered somewhat in his attempt at the marathon, but my goodness me, as they wait. Mo won this race last year. He will defend his title. He had a terrific race against Mike Keegan, and we shall see. Joe Pavey there on the right with the starting pistol. She said what a great honour it was to be asked to start, and the elite will be going and the masses will follow. And there are 5 zones: the orange zone followed by the white, green and red or purple, and they're all in terms of their times, and you'll see them clicking personal stopwatches, because for some 1,000 meters back to get across the start line, and when their little electronic gadgets on their ankles will start to indicate time, they will have a personal time themselves, because it will help them to know how to pace the race, because many will be doing this for the first time. They will have been out on their training runs, they will have had a chance to see what condition they're in. And look at that, it's a wonderful sight. The Gateshead Stadium there, around about 3 miles, and of course in the early days some very big athletics meetings held there, but certainly the women, well, the gap is,
I reckon it's about 300 metres, Stuart.
It's very big, isn't it?
It's about a minute, and they've been running for just over 15 minutes. Keitany with that little cocked head of hers, the head just leans to the right a little bit. There's always that furrowed brow, deep in concentration. She's chosen not to go with the dark glasses look. Keeps it very, very simple. Now there's 3 miles for Keitany in about 15:31, and that is incredibly quick. That puts her on, certainly on the schedule for what would be a world best, but for the downhill drop of this course.
But there we go, there's the leading group, and that looks very much like Mo Farah in the lead, followed by Stephen Sambu in the all purple, and Coker looks as though he's dropped back into 3rd place at the moment. 4:40 for that last mile. So it's gradually building, this race.
Well, 4:40, very quick indeed then in that men's race. 4:32 was what Matati went through in 2011, 4 years ago, when he set the course record. But nonetheless, 4:40 quick enough to set them on target, Stuart, for something very quick today. Certainly under the hour if they maintain this.
Gemma Steele has got away from Prokopchuka, the Latvian, in her 6th appearance in the Great North Run. We haven't mentioned that before. She's been here many times, knows the course very well. But Gemma in 2nd position here. A little glance behind. She knows now she's on her own, and the only target is to see how much she can make up on Mary Keitany, who really after the first mile just put down the pedal and went away. But Gemma's become a good judge of pace in these races, and she now realizes that with this young woman moving very, very strongly ahead, that if she's going to get near or under 70 minutes for this half marathon course, then she's got to really chase hard and make up some real headway.
Here is David Weir coming through in this wheelchair race and looking so strong. 42:25 on the clock. We're pouring it on now. His personal best, 41:34, goes back to 2009. But this has been an utterly dominant push from David Weir, the 36-year-old. 6 times the London Marathon winner. Once again, the Great North Run winner. Morrisons' Great North Run winner. And in splendid isolation, Stuart, in many ways the best way to win a race. Supreme on this day.
You know, when you look at the men here and you look at pace and you look at what is likely to happen in a close finish, then you've got to look at Mo Farah's range. I mean, a 26:46:57, 10,000, 12. What's he got? A 12:53, 5,000. And remember, the most emphatic and most incredible performance was his 3 minutes 28.81 in the 1,500 meters in Monaco. And that was a couple of seasons ago. The 3:28.93 this year behind Asbel Kiprop. I mean, that is very, very quick. I mean, it takes away the record set by the Steve Krams and Seb Coes of this world and Steve Ovett. And when you consider he's got the full range, that's what makes him so dangerous. Well, this is Shelley Woods coming in to win the women's wheelchair race. Once again, she defended her title well. That's another good performance by the defending champion. Silvers from the last 2 Paralympics, 6 times winner of the Great North Run. That makes it 7. Absolutely superb.
Keegan now. Makoka to the right of picture, remember, he was the early leader with that rolling, bouncing style of his, but Keegan has kicked in hard here, Stuart. There's no doubt about that. He's really surging here. That group was looking very comfortable. About 5 minutes ago, you could have thrown a blanket over the top 6 or 7. Keegan now has kicked in very hard with, what, 25, 26 minutes on the clock, nearly 28 now. Mo Farah just accelerates, steps up his speed, moves to 6 miles in, what, about 27:52. So they're on schedule for something probably just under 60 minutes at the moment.
Well, Mary Keitany, 58:31, so with less than 10 minutes of running left in those legs now as she pushes ahead in this race. It's been a lonely race, and he's been looking down at the front. People often ask what you concentrate on. The last mile, 5:18, so 11 miles at 58:53, or 11 miles. And that is going to be outside 68 in the end. It's going to be around about 69 probably, unless she can speed up a little bit at the end. So and that's an approximate judgment on that. But the men, well, look at this. It's down to Biwott and Farah now, with Keegan behind in third place, and then behind him there's Sambu. Well, Sambu's dropped off the back. That's Makoka now in fourth place, the yellow top.
There's no quarter been given, is there, by Biwott? Last year there was a suspicion of a sort of a coordination between Keegan and Farah. They were training partners leading into the race, and Farah just out-sprinted his training partner, but Keegan did a lot of the work. He's back in third place at the moment. But Biwott here, I think, is a different kettle of fish. He's really going for this one. Fourth in the London Marathon this year in 2:06.41. Now, Biwott here has done his homework. He knows he's very strong, probably over the full marathon distance, considerably stronger than Mo Farah. And he's trying to make that marathon strength become a factor here, rather than it being a slowish tactical half marathon where Farah's 5,000 and 10,000 meter speed can be really telling in the latter stages. Well, Keitany, this is a viciously undulating course. It really does punish you if you're not on top of your game. But she has been on top of her game here today. Mary Keitany, former world record holder, who desperately wants to get that world record back at the half marathon on a record legitimate course. But here today, in the 2015 Morrisons Great North Run, she is the supreme champion. She's won by a long, long way, hundreds of metres of empty road behind her. She breaks the tape now, does Mary Keitany, in 67 minutes, 31 seconds unofficially. And that for Mary Keitany, a very, very solid run indeed. Once you're getting into the last mile or so, you're in Farah territory. He'll be very, very confident, Mo Farah. So Biwott has got literally about 5 minutes in which to turn the screw enough to break Farah.
Yeah, they're inside the hour now. They are inside the hour, and with 2 miles to go, absolutely superb. And this is a second attempt to break Mo Farah if he can, but Mo is just latched on, and Biwott just can't make it. Can't shake him. He can't shake him off. Biwott does look comfortable, but so does Mo Farah. But when you've got the basic speed that Farah's got, right across the board, down to and including 1,500 metres, when you can run 3:28 for 1,500 metres, then you've got to say that he's got an advantage. If she can get inside 71 minutes, that will be another terrific run by Gemma Steele.
There is a chance that she's aiming at the Amsterdam Marathon. Talked to her manager over the weekend. That's still very much in her plans, I think, in a few weeks' time. So Steele here, probably a little heavy-legged, Stuart, from that marathon training, but she'll be solid. This is a solid run. She has to be satisfied with it.
I agree. It's been a good performance, just inside 71, and that's brilliant. Second place for her. It's one of the magnificent sights in this northeastern extravaganza. It really is fantastic. Fantastic stuff. Those wonderful red arrows. And what a shot that is.
One thing we forget, of course, is that Mo ran that European record for the half marathon back in February, 59.32. So it's not like Mo is vulnerable at the half marathon, or inexperienced. He's had the most astonishing year. Remember, he ran that world record for 2 miles indoors, 8:03 in Birmingham. Then he broke the European record for the half marathon a month or two later, and his range and quality within that range is unmatched.
Yeah, it's phenomenal, isn't it? And Biwott desperately trying to put the pedal down, but he knows that the basic speed is limited in comparison with Mo Farah, but whether he can just push it along, I don't know. But Farah looks to me to be just poised and waiting, and he'll wait, and then all of a sudden he'll go for it. You watch the change in pace, and it's difficult to change pace the way he does. You know, he turns into a sprinter all of a sudden. But Biwott, you've got to give him credit. He's done absolutely everything he can. He's done most of the leading in the latter third of the race in particular, and he's set down his stall, and Farah just challenged on that downhill just to show that there's a lot of running left in those legs. And Biwott came back and once again takes it. It's the only way he can win is to keep trying to push ahead. But it certainly wouldn't come from behind on Farah. But Farah looks to me as though he's just about ready to start making the attack again. And how on earth do you beat this man? He's got everything, the armoury from all distances. But a great speed endurance, and that is something that will show surely in the final stages. Look at this, 800 metres to go, 57.5 minutes gone. And this is where the attack will come. It'll come soon. Biwott from Farah. Farah defending his title. Sitting there, waiting. When will he go? When will the powerhouse start to move to one side and make his attack? Has he got the sprint power left in those legs? I think he may well have. He's latched on, look at that. He's sitting there, all of a sudden he'll move to one side and attack. Be 400 metres to go shortly and then he will attack. Now can Biwott hold him off? Keegan couldn't last year, but can Biwott? Mo looks to be full of running, sitting there as he has for a long part of this race, and now all of a sudden with 400 metres to go I would think that there will be some attempt to get past.
Keegan back in third place in the distance there, but probably 150 metres, probably 20 seconds or so down on this pair, Stuart. 400 metres to run. They've just heard the bell in effect on a stadium track. Mo Farah, it's all so ominous.
Here he goes, and here goes the sprint finish at the end. My goodness me, Biwott's not going to let him go, is he? He's going to fight him all the way. And as they approach the finish, who's got the sprint finish? Is it Mo Farah or is it Stanley Biwott? The two together. Look at this for a finish. Biwott's not beaten yet, but Farah looks to have greater leg speed now and starts to hit the road hard. And there he goes. Mo Farah's away once again from Stanley Biwott. Watch the clock. Farah's personal best 59.32, and all of a sudden he's in full flight again. He's switched from a distance runner to a sprinter in just such a short space of time, and he's won this race by 5 or 6 metres, and it's going to be a new personal best or thereabout for Mo Farah from Stanley Biwott. It was a wonderful way to defend your title, and Mo has had to run quicker than he's run before to beat Stanley Biwott, who came here as the fastest man with 59.20, but a great performance by the double world champion. 59.22 perhaps, just about, and then 59.23 or thereabouts for Stanley Biwott. Well, there it is, Mo Farah 59.23 and Stanley Biwott 59.24. Certainly a personal best required of Mo Farah to hold off Stanley Biwott. And second placer last year, Mike Keegan of Kenya, in third place, just outside the hour.
I didn't expect this. I thought it was going to be a lot easier now. I was thinking, Mike Keegan last year gave me a good run. I was thinking it's going to be him and a few others, but Stanley Biwott, he's a class athlete, and he definitely pushed me today.
Keitany, that's 67.32. Gemma Steele, 71 minutes exactly. Prokopchuka doing well to get onto the rostrum there. The 36-year-old athlete, 71.52. But Mary Keitany, well, that really was a display of utter dominance.
I want to say I'm happy and ready again, maybe to come next year again to Great Northern, because I like the city and also I like the fans, and I want to say thank you.
In the men's wheelchair race, won very impressively by David Weir, 42.46 by nearly 2 minutes there. David Weir, Simon Lawson making it a British 1-2 ahead of Josh Cassidy's third place for Canada.
I had a bit of a problem in the first 3 or 4 miles. I had a bit of a stomach cramp, so I don't know why they come on, but I sort of had a second wind and then sort of picked it up again. So I think that's where I lost a minute, I think I could have broke the course record today. And there was a slight headwind as well, but yeah, I gave it my best shot, and yeah, it was a fun race and fast.
Shelley Woods of Great Britain then winning the women's wheelchair race, 53.38, and Amanda McCrory 53.49 in second. Van der Broek of the Netherlands 53.58 in third.
This was my hardest Great North run, and it's the hardest race I've had in a long time. It was good. I'm pleased with the result. It was fantastic, but I had to work so hard for that.
Mo Farah defended his title successfully under great pressure in the end. What an outstanding year he's had. Mary Keitany defended her title too. And David Weir won his 6th wheelchair title in dominant form. Shelley Woods retained her title in winning her wheelchair race for the 7th time. Next up for ours is a busy autumn series of road races, starting in Glasgow with the Great Scottish Run. But don't forget, keep up to date on our website, greatrun.org. Till then, it's goodbye.